we're kind of excited. We've tried to build this thing in layers in Towson. When we first got there, obviously, we inherited a club that was at the bottom of our conference. The biggest thing at Towson is the conference right now. The fact that the CA's had a team go to the Final Four, and George Mason, VCU beat Duke in the first round the other year. George Mason last year beat Kansas State and South Carolina on a neutral site. So our teams are starting to beat high majors on a pretty steady diet, and that certainly took us from a low major to a mid-major to a higher mid-major profile that we've got to kind of live up to. And with that is recruiting. Most coaches know I've never scored a point or got a rebound. It's always been the young men we've recruited who have won games for us. So with that, we've had to elevate our recruiting. Our first year or two, we thought we elevated it to a substantial degree. Last year we were 11-3 at home. Last 2 years we won 16 league games, and the last 2 years we won the first round of the CA tournament, which is something Towson had never done before. But now we have to take it to the next level, and those are all the young men that you talked about, Scott, that were sitting behind our bench. But I just want to focus in on two young men real quick. We got a freshman guard coming out of Mount Carmel this year, Troy Franklin. He was MVP of the USA Baltimore All-American game at Towson, sponsored by Lee Corrigan, and we didn't have any votes, by the way, in that game. But Sean Mosley played in the game. A lot of youngsters going to Big East and ACC schools played in the game. And Troy has been even a little bit more. You recruit these young men, you get them there, and like most coaches, we get down on them pretty quick, and we start picking apart what they can't do. I've had some quick guys like Charlie Ward in my day, and I'll tell you, he's about, as I came out of the summer, he's one of the quickest kids in the nation. I have not seen many guys much quicker, and he's a potential game changer for us. So we're excited. He's a freshman. Two guys in our sophomore class, one Brian Morris, a 6'6" point guard transfer from Richmond, who when we recruited him, we really visited West Virginia and LaSalle and those schools. We couldn't get him. Things did not work out at Richmond. He came back. But probably the best player that I'll coach in this short period of time I've been at Towson is a youngster we got over the summer, named David Brewster, a 6'7" Gary Mill type player. Another transfer from the University of Richmond, who qualified academically in August and did enroll. Most people don't even know he's kind of there, but in his senior year, visited Georgetown, Virginia Tech, and Richmond, and some other folks. So we've had to elevate that group. Josh Thornton, who will be a junior, was a transfer from Georgetown, who scored more threes than any guy in the CAA for minutes played in the 20 games he played in. Is another kind of local youngster out of the Delaware area. And another local youngster who's just, the stories of great young men that really changed their lives academically and personally are as great as the wins and losses. But Belmar Coleman, a lot of you know his background and story when he was at Walbrook, will be a senior for us, a senior captain. We're looking for Rocky to have a great senior year. So we're excited. I think we now have a group that can play in the top 4 of the league. We play Villanova, Penn State, Rhode Island, St. Joe, NC State. So we have a pretty good schedule. St. Joe is going to be at home, which we're very excited about. We've read a lot about our new arena. We're moving forward with that in the springtime and really trying to get maybe a Duke or Carolina or somebody to come in and open up that building and really make it a special evening for college basketball. So VCU, Anthony Grant's done a great job. They're recruiting some guys around the country that are visiting, ACC and Big East level schools and picking VCU. Jimmy Larinaga has continued to do a great job. George Mason, Hofstra got 2 outstanding junior college players. We have found that we're more going up against Atlantic 10, and then an occasional Big East kid or 2. We got 1 or 2 guys visiting here late. So, but we have to. In order to survive, we have to. The league is obviously getting good. Georgia State may be the best team in our league. Rod Barnes, the coach of Mississippi, came in. He's got 2 6'10" transfers from Mississippi and a 6'8" transfer from Wake Forest, and just signed the top.
Just what you needed, right?
Yeah, he just signed the top 100 kid who visited Memphis and South Carolina. Okay. So if you go through our conference, it's really developing, and that's made a big difference.